Hey guys, checking in again. Sorry if my voice is a little off. I just woke up actually a little bit ago. Getting things done, you know, the whole bit, the whole spiel. But I wanted to check in with the next video, 1,000 Pound Best Friends. Not gonna lie, I don't remember the episode number at all. I think it's 5 or 6 or I don't know. I've lost track at this point. But hopefully, as you know, this is concluding. I think these seasons are both just about done. So it'll be easier to just keep track of everything at this point forward. But this episode, I genuinely really loved it. Like I said before, I really love this season, how they are portraying everything. They're showing the good and the bad, and they've got these new characters, and they're really digging into actual weight loss and their goals and the pros, the cons, all of that good stuff, right? So it starts off, so it left off on this cliffhanger where it was a small little cliffhanger picking, but left off on this cliffhanger basically where Vanessa was in bed and she was in a lot of pain, and her sister was there trying to help her, and nothing seemed to be working. And I thought it seemed like she needed more pain meds or something, because the amount of pain she was going through was just crazy. But no, this episode, it comes back in and she's practically normal again, and she's feeling better and everything's just fine. They don't really continue it at all. So I was so worried, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? But now it comes in and she's like, well, she said basically that the first days were really awful, felt like she couldn't move and extreme pain, all of that fun stuff. But as time went on, she slowly started to get better and better and better. And it's like that with any, I guess, surgery, or if you're like really sick or break a bone, you know, any of those things. Day by day, you do get better, hopefully, and things just improve. I was worried that she had some kind of infection already or something, and she had to go right back to the hospital or have it fixed by the doctor. But anyway, so that happens, and then the next part, it goes on to, what is it called? Therapy section. They have like this group therapy session with the doctor's office that they all go to, with surgery support group, I guess is what it's called. It was very interesting. Okay, like Megan shows up and she has a surprise for everyone, and she's like, you guys are not going to believe what I found, because she went on Google and did this search, and she does this reveal where she shows these pictures she printed out, and it's of the doctor when he was younger, apparently. And I guess he was a model, and yeah, you know, he was young, and he took modeling pictures. But they all kind of go crazy over it, and they're like, oh, I'm surprised Megan didn't laminate it or something. I guess it's been this joke on and off that she has a crush on him since, I don't know, maybe the first or second season. So I thought that was very cute. She was saying that she's gonna hang the pictures on her fridge and stuff. Oh my gosh. But it was adorable. And then, you know, Ashley was commenting that she is gonna try for a baby as well. The doctor goes to the group and asks them to name an NSV. And I liked how he commented that even though they're all in different parts of their journey, you know, some of them are just starting, some of them are years out, even though they're all in completely different areas, that they should all share an NSV, us to show something positive going on in their lives. So they go through each person and they say one NSV that they have an experience. So the first one, I believe it's a new person. They have other people in these groups as well, but I guess Tina and them are the main people they're focusing on for this season. I don't know if they'll change that in the future, but first person, I forget her name. I think it was like Pam or something, but she mentions that she doesn't have to take her blood pressure medication anymore, or she's lowered the amount that she has to take, which is a really good NSV, to be honest.
I know at my highest, I have had blood pressure issues as well, pre-diabetic issues, so even cholesterol. That was a big health scare shock that helped kind of push me back onto this journey, hoping to, get to my goal weight and everything. And I hope as I lose and get to my goal weight that I will not have those high numbers anymore. I haven't checked in a while. I do need to check again just to make sure it is going down. But that's the goal, right? Is to be healthier overall and do your best and live your best life, right? It moves on to Megan. No, not Megan. Sorry. It's Tina. Tina says her NSV is that she's actually, wait, Tina's the one that said the blood pressure medicine. Sorry, I get confused. I'm very sorry. The first girl, she says that she is now going out more and she's putting makeup on and she's actually getting ready for the day and doing more things instead of being locked up in her house like a hermit all day. And that is so true. That hits home. I know a lot of people are like this, but they won't admit it. A lot of people, especially if you're in a bad way emotionally, depression, you're, a high weight as well, you tend to become agoraphobic, where you don't want to go outside, you want to stay inside in your own little safe bubble in your room. The thought of going out and doing things it seems so overwhelming, so stressful, and you just want to hide from the world basically and relax. I know especially being at that high of a weight, going outside can be physically so demanding. It's painful almost. You're in pain walking, you're sweating, you're breathing hard, and it's just painful. Even now, after losing some weight, I am still having issues just getting out, getting ready for the day, doing things, doing errands, getting, basic things done is tough. And it's not even a physical battle at all anymore. I do have energy. A lot of days I'll have energy randomly and can do a lot of things, but it's now more or less like a mental battle where I'm like, I don't want to go out. I don't want to do anything. I just want to be lazy and do nothing. And that's something I really want to kill. I want to get rid of this mentality that I'm in that has kind of stuck with me from being, severely obese, is that you don't want to do anything, I guess. And like she's saying, putting makeup on or doing your hair, just basic things. Saw a short somewhere, I don't know if it was Facebook or Instagram or something, but it was this little short video. This lady was talking about how getting ready and doing things, self-care, things like that, putting on a nicer outfit, how it can change your mentality completely. It can change your whole day, and it can also boost your confidence. A lot of things that it's like proven to do. It can increase your energy as well. Whereas if you stay in your pajamas, wrapped in a blanket in your bed, of course you're going to be lazy and you're not going to want to do anything. And it's like exercise. The more you practice it, the easier it gets as well. The more it becomes a habit and increases your energy as well. And it's that initial first couple of minutes that's the hardest, right? You're comfy in your bed. You don't want to get up and walk. You don't want to get up and get ready for the day, but you just got to push yourself and do it. So that just struck a chord in me. It resonated in me. And I really felt that. Very good NSBs. I love it. But Tina, she had mentioned the medicine. She's lowered her blood pressure medicine. But she also, I don't know how it got into this. She mentioned the same thing, that she's staying in her house more and she is becoming more depressed. It seemed a lot like a little bit of a cry for help to the support group. And they were there for her. It was a pretty sad moment because she got teary-eyed, choked up. And it's not something that's easy to talk about, right? It's painful. It's embarrassing in a way, too, because you're basically admitting that you're depressed and you don't want to do anything at all and you just want to give up. And that's a sad thing to admit, but it's very good for her to get it out there and have people support her, right? She does admit that. I can imagine how tough it is where your own husband is in the other room eating something and you physically can't eat anything, so you don't go and eat with them. I mean, you could still go sit with them at the table, but like, that's kind of rough, isn't it? Can you imagine just sitting there, not eating anything, just while they're eating and just watching them, smelling the food, especially when you're a former food addict or you still do have issues? Like Tina still definitely has mental ties with food and she's still addicted to this food. And she's sitting there, I'm just imagining if she sat there with her husband and was smelling all the smells, that would be depressing for me as well. Just being in the same house and smelling your favorite meals cooking, that sounds depressing. And that's the one thing about surgery I don't like. It's like you are really changing your life a lot and it's permanent. You can't really go back unless you stretch it out, which is not recommended at all. It's dangerous for your health. For your whole life, basically, your stomach is the size of a grapefruit or smaller even. I don't know the exact size, but it's small. It's really small. And especially the first weeks after surgery, you can't really eat much. It's just liquids and soft foods for a long, long time. So yeah, she's basically can't eat. And, mentally, when you're that attached to food, having the inability to eat like that, it's jarring and shocking and just strange. It feels strange. It's like your go-tos, and she probably does try, like she told Tina in the last episode, she had a couple bites of burrito and you get so sick because you try, but it's like a sickening feeling, and that's got to be messing with her psyche as well. But I went on a rambling tangent there. After that, the episode moves on to Ashley. By the way, I really love that support group and I want to see more. I hope they do another season and I hope they really dive into these issues and, look into more. I'm really hoping for that. And I want more episodes sooner because last year, 1,000 Pound Sisters came out early in, I think it was January or something, but 1,000 Pound Best Friends didn't come out. And then it never came out. It didn't come out until this year. So I want more. I'm loving it, especially if it's going in this direction and not the crazy dramatic direction last season was going in. But that's another rant, and I'm getting off subject. So Ashley goes to the doctor, the doctor for, what's the word? Getting pregnant, obstetrician, that doctor. She wants to check her fertility. I guess it would be a fertility doctor. But she's 38 and she's going to turn 39. And that's kind of the zone where, pregnancies are high risk and, women stop having kids usually around that time, right? I mean, I've heard of people late pregnancies going farther, but this is kind of when it starts to slow down. So she goes to the doctor. I remember the other doctor, Dr. Proctor, she talked to him. He told her to wait a year at least and that she needed to lose more weight. That was the safer way, lower risk for the baby and for her, which is true. But she is running out of time as well because she's older. So I kind of see her side also, that she doesn't have much time. If she's going to do it, she's got to do it soon. And that's basically what the fertility doctor tells her. She does this ultrasound. Not a fun ultrasound, by the way. I've had that one and it's not fun. But she does an ultrasound. She takes a good look. I think she said there's supposed to be 4 eggs or something on each side. I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor. I can't say, but she's missing some. She's only sees a couple. But the doctor also says that could be because she is very overweight still, and the fat, I guess, is pushing on everything, and there could be a couple eggs hidden in the fat. I don't know. It's very weird. I'm not sure how to say that. I'm just an average person. I don't know how it works, but something like that. She says there could be, but she only saw, what she saw. And she basically tells Ashley that if she's gonna have a baby, she should lose at least a good 30 pounds first, but also it's urgent that she does it sooner than later because, with every moment you wait, it's ticking. So, unfortunately, the clock's ticking. And I feel for Ashley. When she heard that, her face just dropped, and she even mentioned that it was like a gut-wrenching moment to hear those words, because you want to hear that everything's going to be fine and you're going to get what you want and you're going to do this and this. But to be told that, what really upset her was that the doctor said she gave her like an 8 to 10% chance, which is super low. And that's for completely natural, no outside help if she had a partner. So that was what really threw her, and she was upset about that. And I felt awful for her. I want so bad for her to get her goal and have a baby and be happy. But it is kind of a rushing game, right? First of all, she's got to find someone, right? She's not even dating someone exclusively right now. I mean, they went to that dating event and she did talk to someone. I don't know if it continued. I don't know if she is talking to someone long term online or meeting with someone that doesn't want to be on camera. Maybe. We don't know. She could have a boyfriend, or she could even have a fiance. We don't know. It could be a big secret. But from what the show is showing us, she's not seeing anyone. So first of all, she has to meet someone, fall in love, get married, and then they have to immediately, no break, no breathing room. They have to immediately try for this baby. And even then, it's an 8 to 10% chance. So just the process of falling in love and getting married, that could take months on its own, or even years. Rushing into it like for weeks, it's risky, very risky. But I just feel for her. I really want her to get this goal. I really like Ashley. She's one of my favorites, to be honest. So I felt bad because she was kicking herself. She was saying, if only the first time I had the surgery, I had done things right, I'd be in a different position. And you know what? We have all done that. We've all beat ourselves up. We've all said, what if, I wish. But that's the thing. The past is the past. We have to focus on the now and getting our goals done now, because the more we dwell on the past and mope and be depressed and sad over it, nothing's going to get done. Nothing's going to get done, and it's going to make even more painful past memories. And as I always say in all of these little rants I do, I don't take my own advice. I hope I will someday. No. Shit. Stop it. Scratch that. Not I hope. I will. I will do this. I will take my advice. I will take others' advice. And I'm going to reach my goal. Wait, I'm saying it now. But anyways, moving on. They visit Vanessa. Everyone goes and visits Vanessa because she just had that skin surgery. And oh my gosh, it's been a while, right? But she's still in pain, and so much pain she can't get up and greet them. And they're like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, it's just, I was sliced open and I'm still resting. And if you move a certain way, the stitches can really get irritated and painful and swollen. I can just imagine it, and it's giving me goosebumps just thinking about it. Because I can imagine how painful that is. But yeah, they all go to visit her, except for Scott. But all the girls go to visit her, the sisters there. And they are just marveling over the difference. Betsy May is completely gone, and her arms are like, they say they're like sticks. They're just like normal arms now. They look really good. They did a really good job. And I'm sure there's still some swelling that will go down, and they'll look even better. And all she got to do is really lift some weights, and they're going to get tone, and she's going to look fire. She's going to look great. I am living for it, and I cannot wait. But what was really shocking was Vanessa told them that her chest was now perkier than her sister's chest. And they're like, no, you're lying. And she's like, let me show you. And she just whips them out. I'm sorry. I was speechless in that moment. I was speechless. But she did. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. In other episodes, she's just stripped down naked in front of them. She does not care. She just does not care. And, I love that about her. She's great. And yeah, they are blurred. Thank goodness. Whatever. I'm sure they look amazing and perky, like she said. And when she goes to follow up with the skin doctor, he does look at them and she mentions how they're no longer laying down on her stomach. They're now on her actual chest. And the doctor says, oh yeah, now there's some kind of saying, like the nipples don't no longer point north and south. They now point east and west. That was crazy too. But yeah, it was the whole follow-up with her was great. She's looking amazing. The doctor weighs her on the scale because, oh, and he also shows her this picture of the skin. So they took off all this skin and they take a picture of it, and oh my gosh, it's a lot. If you don't like blood, skip that part, but they do show it's skin with a little blood on the sides, and it looks like a lot that's from her abdomen and her arms and everything. And they said they weighed it and it was almost 40 pounds. That's just crazy to me. I mean, usually when they do a skin surgery, it's what, 15 pounds, 20 pounds? This is like almost double. So almost 40 pounds. So that was crazy. And of course, then they weigh her and she goes from like 220 from the last time down to 195. So a good 25 pounds. They said they took off 40, but there's swelling and then the lack of exercise and eating and recovery. So you got to go with those factors. But that's just crazy. She's now under 200. She's in the Wonderland Club, they call it, which I love and want to stay here for as long, the rest of my life. But yeah, so she's really excited for that. The girls are excited for her. Like I said, they went to visit her. It was great. They marveled. And I'm just so glad for her. And I hope she continues to recover. And with that, there is another part. And this episode, I'm sorry, is getting so long. But there's the part where Scott asks Megan for help. I don't know if he actually asked her to help him, or if Megan kind of encouraged it and said, let me help you. Let me go through your fridge and stuff. So Megan goes over to his house and goes to meet his mom, which he's nervous about. He's like, oh gosh, please let things go well. And his mom doesn't seem like a crazy out there kind of person. She seems very relaxed and normal. She does kind of nitpick on him, but it's because she cares about him, right? So Megan goes to his house, and it's her job to go through his fridge and all his little goodies and make sure he's doing good and gets rid of what he needs to get rid of. Of course, his mom does step in. His mom basically tells her where to look for the stashes. She says behind the couch. I guess he eats string cheese on the couch. That's definitely his trigger, is what he said. String cheese is his trigger. Or Megan said that. But when he eats the string cheese, he kind of just tosses the trash behind the couch. Okay. And later, Megan says with his other stash that she doesn't think it's lazy, but sitting on the couch and throwing the trash behind you seems a little lazy. Or maybe what it is it's shame. So maybe you're worried. Maybe he was worried his mom or someone was going to walk in on him. So he just immediately throws the trash behind the couch and maybe forgets about it or just doesn't go back for it. So maybe it's a mixture of laziness and shame where you just, panic throw. So yeah, she finds those wrappers, and the mom mentions that the housekeeper that comes once a month or something like that always goes to the back of the couch because she knows that's where she's going to find the trash. And then there's also another cabinet by the TV, or I don't know if it's a TV cabinet or what it is, but there's like this dresser cabinet kind of thing in front of the couch. And there's just tons of wrappers stuffed in there. And Amy's like, this wouldn't be lazy because you have to get up off the couch and walk over here and stuff these in here instead of just taking them. If you're going to get up and walk that far, you might as well just dump them in a trash can, right? So, yeah, I agree with her on that. That's kind of weird. I can't think of why he would put it in there. I guess maybe he thinks his mom checks the trash can. So these are like little traits that remind me a little bit like addicts, because they do hide things. They have hiding spots, personal emergency hiding spots, just in case they can't get to their addiction or they're unable to receive something for their addiction, right? And this kind of reminds me of that behavior. Same with alcohol or with, any kind of drug you think of. Pills, all of that. So it's very similar. This is just what occurred in my mind. It's just very, I don't know, correlations. And there's also another thing is sneak eating is very similar to addiction as well, where you feel so judged by people, and maybe you yourself are also judging yourself, that you feel the need to go and sneak eat and sneak binge. Same with addiction, other addictions, you sneak off and do it. Whereas otherwise you would just go and eat with your family, right? Normally, because you feel like you're not doing anything wrong. So this is just very similar to me. It's a bit of another red flag, but most people do this when they have a problem with food. So it's fixable, and I hope that he takes Megan's advice and does fix these issues. She goes in his fridge and finds more string cheese packages, and he starts opening one up right there, and he's going to eat one, and she's like, "No, what are you doing? Don't do that." And he's like, "Oh, well, since we're getting rid of them, I'm going to have one more, my final package." It's like I've seen videos on social media. They call it the food funeral, something like that. It's like the last giant meal before my diet. Let me just have my last one. And you see it on 600-Pound Life all the time. Before they go to the doctor, they have their last binges and everything. Definitely very unhealthy mentality. Am I guilty of it? Absolutely. I have done the same thing for sure. It is what it is. You gotta kick it. It's like, if you keep delaying it and saying, okay, last meal today, I'll start tomorrow. Then the next day, what if you do it again? Oh, yeah, just one more day. It's just gonna, snowball. It's gonna be an avalanche. It's gonna snowball into this huge thing of every day. Sad, but true. And this is getting pretty long. I'm just rambling too much because this episode was very interesting to me. I really liked everything that went on. But yeah, he tries to have the last package, and Megan's like, "No, we're donating it to a church. We're going to do something good with it, and you are going to start today." And she's like, you got to make your decision. Do you want the surgery, or do you want to just have your string cheese? And he's like, "Fine, I want the surgery. Let's get rid of it." They get rid of it, and good on him. That's not stopping him from going and getting more, but it's a step in the right direction, right? He does go and visit the doctor at the end of the episode, and I'm just trying to think if I missed anything, but if I did, I'm sorry. This episode got really long. At the end of the episode, he goes and visits the doctor with his mom again. He says he wants her there in case he does get approved, even though last time there was that kind of blow up that happened. But he does want her there just in case. And the episode ends there on a cliffhanger. Yeah, so we'll just have to wait until the next episode to find out if he does finally qualify for the surgery. The doctor told him just wants him to complete that first goal of 30 pounds before he'll approve him. So he's like 15 pounds in. He has to have lost 15 pounds in the last month. So I'm hoping he hit that goal. He's been swimming a lot. I knew that water aerobics class would get him going because water is so fun, to be honest. If I had access to a pool, I'd try to be in it every day if I could. But it is a good workout, and it's fun, and it's like low joint impact, but high burns if you swim fast enough. So maybe someday. But yeah, he has been exercising a ton. But as Vanessa said in the episode, oh yeah, I knew I was missing a part. Vanessa and him go to the store. It's a clothes store. And they go clothes shopping. And, Scott hasn't seen her since the surgery. So he was completely shocked as well. But it was kind of hard to tell because she was wearing like a big jacket on top and kind of covering everything. I'm thinking she's probably still wearing bandages and stuff. And she doesn't want it to show. And maybe it's cold. It's winter. We don't know. but she's just covered up for the most part, so it's hard to see. But what is obvious is Betsy May is gone, and he's like, "Where's Betsy May? Where's your arm flaps?" And it's a big shock, I'm sure, especially when they're like, you see them in person and they're your friend, right? So yeah, he's shocked, and they decide to go clothes shopping because Scott has this idea to take them all on a trip. Well, I don't know if it was Scott's idea. It could have been the show's idea, because they do that with Thousand Pound Sisters as well. But he has this idea because Tina's depressed still from the support meeting earlier, and he wants to support her and get her out of the house and do something fun. And that sounds like a pretty fun, good idea. And Tina does need it, and that's probably going to lead to drama. I don't know. I'm not watching the preview, so don't quote me on that, but we'll see what happens. I'm excited. So we're just waiting on the trip, and we're waiting on Scott's surgery, if it's approved or not, and I'm ready for it. So this long video vlog pod is over. I'm going to do some errands now because I am behind, and I'm going to work on challenging myself every day. Hope you guys are also challenging yourself, but not to the point where you're overstressed and, having anxiety attacks. So be motivated, be positive, be healthy, be happy. Happy motivating, happy goal getting. Talk to you all later.